Banks and shipping, how do they get together? How do they join forces?
Shipping needs capital. Without capital, you cannot purchase ships, you cannot pay your employees, you cannot move money around. The relationship between shipping and capital is of two types. One is the debt and one is equity. On the equity side, ship owners are very fond of US capital markets as well as Norwegian capital markets. These are the two main areas where ship owners issue equity and bonds. On the banking side, European banks have been very active, and given all of the troubles that European banks have faced, alongside capital requirements as well as recently during the financial crisis, it is now evident that European banks are pulling back from lending generally to shipping because they find the terms not sustainable, let's call it.
There are certain changes that will take place in the next few months or next few years, if you like. The major one was in the US. How do you believe this will actually affect the banking and investing in shipping?
If you're referring to Mr. Trump's election, it is because of a need, I think, within the US to have a voice for what we have forgotten. I mean, the US media is not just about the West and East Coast. There is a large chunk of the population which has certain feelings, and they express them with the election of Mr. Trump. For shipping, I think it will be an interesting result because if you combine three issues, which is one, banking regulation, reduction in regulation on banking, potentially, reduction in regulation on environmental controls, i.e. more drilling or more pipelines. And the third one is spending on infrastructure. So if you take it in turn, banking regulation reduction would mean more possible availability of capital for shipping, which is a good sign. And for reduction in environmental concerns, it would mean more availability of business for offshore drilling and related businesses. And of course, the ability for certain parts of the MLP sector to issue equity. They will have a positive glow to them. And the third thing would be that if the US economy actually does spend on infrastructure as it is expected, then we will see a greater surge in dry bulk commodities entering the US. There was a push for the commodities that were to be used to come from the US, but now they are saying US steel wherever possible. So it does mean that there could be a boost for dry bulk shipping as well.
New players will probably join in. Some old players, both from shipping and from banking, will probably pull out. What do you expect to see to be the outcome of it?
I think overall capital will continue to be constrained because it is not easy to lend into shipping today because you have to make a determination on the total viability of somebody's business over a long period of time. Shipping is not a sprint, it is a marathon. So you have to have that in mind. Very few banks are now equipped to make those kind of determinations. There are banks who are in it for capital markets returns, some banks who are in it for yield returns on loans. These are two different worlds, and we will see who prevails. But I think the addition of new availability of capital is going to be limited.
Finally, a couple of words about the Capital Link event, the one that you're participating now, or even the ones that you participated in the past.
Well, this is always a flagship event, and for me to be able to speak at a panel with a room packed as it was with what seemed like over 600, 700 people was a phenomenal experience. And you have been able to pull enormous Chinese interest this time, which is a very positive development for the next Shanghai function on May 5th, which I wish you all the best for.
Thank you.